Alright, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be changing out the turbo feed line on my car. Got this new braided steel one, and I also got a new union for the turbo. This is also an upgraded one. It's hard to show here. Let me open it up and show you. Alright, so there's a new one, as you can see. You can see right through it. This one's supposedly flows 20% more oil than the stock one. So that's good because it's an upgraded turbo, so I don't know if it's supposed to have more oil, but it's been like this for a year. It's always been fine. But basically when I changed the turbo last year, it has the hard line on it, and I couldn't get the union off the turbo, so I just cut the hard line. Took it off outside the car, and then when I put it back, I put a rubber line in between the cut, and it started leaking the other day, so it's finally gonna get swapped out for a nice new one. So this is where we're gonna be working today. I don't know if you can see it down there, right there where my light is on, that's where the line's gonna connect. And then it basically just wraps around the side of the motor and goes to the back of the turbo. So I'm gonna unhook the air line, or the intake on the airline, snorkel, whatever the heck it's called, in the PCV, and yeah, then we're gonna go from there. Alright, so I just pulled the 10 mil right there and unhooked the PCV hose. And I got to get, you're not gonna be able to see it, but in the back here I have one of the hard clamps going onto the turbo. So the way you do that is with these pliers here. There, you just reach them in there, and this retracts on it. So this is very handy to have when working on these cars. I'll show you how it works right up here. Alright, here it is. There's the tool. Basically, they're both hooked, so you put one side on it, clamp the pliers down. See if you can do this. Just like that, and it locks into place. And you can mess with your clamp. Just like that, and then I'm gonna take the tension off. Leave that right there. Alright, there it is. Put that away. Slide some of our tools over. Alright, now you should be able to see down there. Alright, so we are going for that line. I'll try and put an arrow on it. And basically, you can see how wet, the plate's kind of in your way, but you can see how wet it is up here. There's oil all over the subframe down there. So I'm probably just gonna cut the line itself and then just spin it out of the turbo, because that'll be a lot easier. And yeah, so I'm gonna start with that. Now when you're installing it, you're gonna need a flare wrench such as this. This is a 17 mils the size for the union. So, which is probably different on the new one. No, it's the same. So that has to get held while the while the new line's getting tightened on. You also kind of need this to break it loose. So I'm gonna cut the line and use my wrench to break it loose. Alright, so got the hacksaw out. You can see all the oil on it. Just barely. There you go. See, I cut it right off. And now we just put a 17 on here. try it. Right here. Cracked it loose. This is gonna be the only hard part, is just making enough slack in that. Just spin it off the rest of the way. There it is. There's a union. Make sure the crush washer's not on there. Good. Alright, so there's the old union. I'm actually gonna put it in the vise and split it up real quick. Alright, so here's the old fitting. So you can see that hole size. There's a new one. You can tell it's definitely bigger, not a ton, but you can see it's bigger. It's also shaped different. So there you go. So this being longer, it helps with not hitting on the actual turbo. As you can see, I had a hard time getting the wrench in on that one, so that helps with that. Side by side, I don't know if I can show you the holes. Yeah, you can see there. But alright, we're gonna install this on the turbo. So it comes with 3 crush washers. 2 are the same size because they're gonna go on the banjo bolt on the cooler. And then there's the smaller one here. Make sure it's nice and clean. Just drop it right on there. And then I'm going to get a 17 mil socket and we're going to torque this down. Alright. I'm trying to find a spot where you can see what I'm doing down there. Alright, there you go. I think you can see that, hopefully. So, got the new union. And we're just gonna reach it on down here. Set it on. Thread nice and good. Okay, so that's snug. So I'm going to put a, I don't know if I can actually get a socket on that. Alright, hold on. Alright, well, I ended up putting the wrench on just like this. And at the hole up here, I just put a screwdriver through and just twisted it another 70 degrees, so feels pretty solid there. I'm gonna say that's good. So we're gonna take our new line, and this is gonna get dropped in. loosely on. So we're gonna go through, you'll see the fitting down there where it's gonna connect. Basically there is a clamp on the oil line. Try and put an arrow on it back there, then one on the other side of the block. Those are both unhooked. I lost the bolts to them last year when I changed the turbo, so it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna just take the banjo off down there, back down at the bottom, wherever it is, there it is, and fish the line through. Alright, so hard to see it, but actually you definitely can't see it. 18 mil socket. I have a 1/2 inch to 3/8 adapter for some reason, but it's just enough. And then I have my extendable ratchet, and yeah, just gonna reach it down here. It goes right on that bolt in the back. Just spinning it till it's loose. I think it's almost there, but as long as it's broken loose, I think I can use, yeah, we're leaking some oil now, bigger wrench on it. Yeah, I can. So trying to spin it off by hand. It doesn't quite want to let go. So I'm gonna put it on the electric ratchet then. Alright, so if you can see it now, it's leaking oil everywhere. This is draining out what's in the cooler. Reach down here, grab the, grab our banjo bolt, and now this line has just got to be, I'm going to cut it again and pull it out. Alright, there it is. See, it's all strapped down. It was leaking oil like crazy, so I couldn't pick up the camera. I just tried to get it on. So now I'm going to put socket on the torque wrench and figure out what we got to torque to. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Alright, so 30 foot-pounds is what the union calls for on the motor. So I'm gonna actually get to use my new torque wrench here. From Also Tools. Digital goes from 12.5 foot-pounds all the way to 250. So 1/2 inch, pretty big. I'm gonna turn this on. So we hit C, power's up there. These are all my presets. I'm gonna turn this all the way down to 30 foot-pounds. Boom. Just like that. This is also set so when I torque it, it'll beep. It'll start beeping rapidly, and then it'll beep when I hit it, and it will hold and show what torque I hit also. So if I went over or went under, it'll show that on the display. So I don't know how I'm going to really be able to show this, but I will try. Up to 15. final one here. 7. 29. 30. There you go. You see it blinking. Let me make sure. 30 foot-pounds. Right on the money. Alright, let's start putting this back together. Alright, so there it is. Installed. Nice and good. Torque to 30. Fished all the way back through. Alright, GoPro cut out there, but as you can see, there it is down below. All the way around the side of the motor. Zip tied there, and right there, tucked into the top of the turbo. So that's all good. Everything's torqued down, and we're gonna put our snorkel or whatever the heck this thing is back on, hook everything up, run it for a minute, let the oil get circulated back through the line in the turbo, and then we're gonna top it up with oil because it's a little low now. And yeah, then we're gonna check for leaks and call it good. So we'll be back. Alright, there it is, all done. Piping's all put back on, catch can's hooked up. You can still see the line down there. I started up, let it run for 30-40 seconds. There's no leaks. So I think we're all good here. Pipe's back on, everything's tightened down. Just cleaning up my tools now. If you right there. If you want any of the tools used in this video, such as the digital torque wrench, there's the specs on it again. I will have it in the comments or the description down below. 10% off code for the whole website. So if you want to get a torque wrench, screwdrivers, wrenches, swivels, pry bars, whatever you need, 10% off. Use code in the description below. And yeah, it's going to do it for this video. So thanks everyone for watching, and see you in the next one.